I'm going to go over how to draw a skull with the wings on it. I'm going to do it in profile. I'm just going to lay in the proportions so I can get my placement down. Remember when you draw the skull in profile, there is a... People forget the back of the skull. If he's aiming this way, if he's looking out that direction, people often forget that there is a back of the skull. People do this kind of go halfway and then draw this line straight down. But you got a brain in there. So I'm going to lay in the wings here. I'm going to make it bat wings. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it bat wings. Remember that the front of the head is separated into thirds. Let's see. You got the top of the forehead to the brow line, and then to the base of the nose, and to the bottom here. You can separate that into thirds. Let's see. I'm just finding my shapes, looking for the dark shapes. The way I know this stuff is through studying real medical skulls. They're real molds of actual cadavers, and if you draw them over and over, you got to commit it to memory, and you build a library of images in your head. It's a little long back here, but I'm going to let it go. Right now I'm not using anything special. I'm using a number 2 pencil, same kind that you take a test with. Still just finding the darks. The round of the forehead, not the forehead, around to the side of the head, it curls in, and there's a cheekbone right here that also causes a shadow. And you have a cylinder for the teeth area over here. I'm laying in the teeth. I'm spinning my pencil around sometimes because when I use it over and over on one side, it'll kind of get dull, and so I got to turn it. And the more I use it on that other side, it kind of sharpens the opposing side. I'm going to make it start right behind the temple here, like the wings start. You can always go in and add more detail to, let's say, the wing. It's going to be very similar to a bat wing, but but I'm going to kind of simplify it for the drawing. Let's see. I got a better idea of proportion. Now I'm going to go take another screen across the whole thing and I'm going to put more detail into it. Second. Okay, I need to find a kneaded eraser. A kneaded eraser is you really need that. I don't like the red, the pink erasers at the tip of any of the pencils. They're really bad because they also leave a stain behind as well. The kneaded eraser, I like the fact that you can just mush it in any shape you want and then get into tiny crevices and things like that. Right now I'm just trying to think back to other skulls I've drawn and trying to pull information from there. I'm putting a little bit of shadow. Let's see this. I don't want this to connect. That is always on the skull, so I put it in there. I'm going to add some secondary shadow. Secondary shadow is more for just finding the form, where you don't add really dark lines, you'll add this secondary shadow element to it. Forgot the bottom of the teeth here, let me get to that. Remember the teeth are kind of in a cylinder style shape. I'm going over secondary shadow still, and at the same time I'm shading in the other shadow, the primary one, the really dark of the eyes, dark over here the gap where the muscles should be, but since it's a skull there is none. Cast shadow from the wings, put that in there, that'll be pretty good. Might actually get away with putting most of this in shadow over here. Actually I'm going to leave a little bit of rim light. I kind of like the way that looks. Rim light would be maybe light bouncing off from the bottom there, or coming from another source. I'm going to treat the bat wings kind of like little prongs, maybe like little antennas with skin over it. I'm going to just have to imagine what that would be like. Put them back here, some things are bugging me. Every now and then when I'm working something will catch my eye that annoys me with a drawing, and I'll go back and fix it, like right in the middle. You should use a procedure. You know, my procedure is I go through a very light layer first, and then I go back the way I came, and I